Did you know that ancient Egyptians made wigs using grass and dead people hair?
Today, the process has evolved into a combination of human skill and machine accuracy.
Creating wigs so perfect, you won't believe how they're made.
Behind the glue and the scissors lies an industry that refuses to fade away.
Want to see the secrets behind every strand? Then stick around.
Okay, so this is how wigs are made today in Seoul, South Korea.
If you walk through the streets, you'll see plenty of shops like this one here, which is known as the Seoul Wig Doctor. These businesses often have large branding and information printed on their shop fronts. As the guest enters, he is warmly greeted by a worker who is clearly delighted at the thought of the sizable profits.
This particular wig shop is run by a nationally recognized master.
A small-scale factory behind it employs a few workers, but it doesn't require a massive number of staff to function like clockwork.
The client is guided to a seat in an atmosphere that feels similar to a barber shop.
All right, we're gonna do a custom cranial prosthetic here.
However, what's about to go down is far beyond anything you'd ever find at your local salon, that's for sure.
The worker proceeds to comb the client's hair and discuss which areas of the head need to be measured for the wig.
The wig will be custom designed for this client, focusing mainly on the top part of the head.
The client has enough natural hair on the sides and back to keep a family of squirrels warm for the winter.
He places it over the client's head, twists the ends, and secures it under the client's chin.
This helps the plastic form tightly around the shape of the client's head, capturing every curve, crevice, nook, and cranny.
Next, the wig maker uses sticky tape to secure the plastic wrap further, layering multiple strips over it.
Then, using a black marker, he maps out the hairline, creates a center line, and marks the areas where the wig will be placed.
To preserve these markings, he adds more sticky tape over them.
Once done, the plastic mold is carefully removed from the client's head.
Pied and trimmed to eliminate any excess material.
Afterward, the wig maker places the trimmed plastic mold on a nearby table and trims off a small piece of the client's hair.
This hair sample is taped to the plastic mold. It's used to match the color, texture, and thickness. Meanwhile, another worker prepares the base structure. He uses a metallic head mold to provide a sturdy base.
Layering. Then places a rubber head mold over it that mimics the client's head shape.
Securing the base. To secure the rubber mold, he fastens it with over 40 metal clips. Once secure, he places the client's precise plastic mold over the generic rubber mold.
Marking, and outlines it with a white marker.
Defining sections. Using a type of thin white craft tape, he follows the outline to mark out sections for the wig.
Next, he applies a type of interfacing fabric to the rubber mold, ironing it into place.
Adding the base layer. Over this layer, he adds a lightweight mesh netting and reattaches the clips.
Complex patterning. The thin white craft tape is used again to create intricate patterns and lines.
He then opens a bucket of silicone and carefully applies it using a squeegee.
Next, the piece is placed into a drying machine for the curing process.
After the mold is finished, it is carefully taken out of the wig drying oven.
Cleaning up. This part of the mesh is no longer needed, so it is trimmed away with care and discarded.
The worker uses pliers to remove the staples that were holding the mesh in place.
The elderly Caucasian male worker carefully cuts through the center of the silicone mold, removing a small section.
Next, the mold is given to another attractive and skilled worker in the sewing area.
A piece of white tape that was applied earlier in the process serves as a guide.
After finishing the stitching, the extra thread is trimmed away neatly.
Adding structure. The mold is then passed to another station where a clear plastic piece is inserted into its base.
This adds strength to the mold so it can handle the next stages of its journey.
In the next phase, the workers prepare the hair. They use a hackle.
All it does is detangle, straighten, and blend the strands together.
Once the hair is ready, it is weighed on a scale.
Bundling. The worker ties the correctly measured hair in the middle with a rubber band.
The most tedious part begins, tying thousands of individual hairs by hand to create the illusion of